Philippine Clean Water Act RA 9275. So after discussing the definition of water pollution and the cause and effects of water pollution, we will now tackle the law of Philippine Clean Water Act RA 9275. Philippine Clean Water Act RA 9275 is an act providing for a comprehensive water quality management and for other purposes. The law applies to water quality management in all water bodies. It primarily applies to the abatement and control of pollution from land-based sources. The Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004 was signed by former President Laura Macapagal-Arroyo on March 22, 2004. It took effect on March 6, 2004 with its implementing rules and regulation contained in the DENR Administrative Order No. 2005-10. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources was chosen as the primary agency responsible for the implementation of the Clean Water Act. They formulate and apply standards for the transport and disposal of effluent, sewage, and septage offsite. Under Article 1, Section 3, the Clean Water Act applies to the water quality management in all water bodies. It shall apply primarily to the abatement and control of pollution from land-based sources. The water quality standards and regulations and the civil liability and penal provisions under this Act shall be enforced respectively of sources of pollution. Under Article 2, Section 13, in water pollution permits and charges, a wastewater charge system in all management areas will be implemented. A wastewater charges shall be established taking into consideration the following from A to F. The discharge permits specifying, among others, the quantity and quality of effluent that said facilities are allowed to discharge into a particular water body. Compliance schedule and monitoring requirements shall be the legal authorization from the DNR to discharge wastewater. The fee shall be based on the net waste load depending on the wastewater. Charge formula shall be established with due public consultation within 6 months from the effectivity of this Act. The following are the rules regarding this fee. Under Article 2, Section 14, Discharge Permit, all owners or operators of facilities that discharge wastewater are required to get a permit to discharge from the DENR. Existing industries without any permit are given 12 months from the effectivity of the implementing rules and regulations promulgated pursuant to this Act to secure a permit to discharge. Under Article 2, Section 22, Linkage Mechanism, the Department and its concerned attached agencies, including the Laguna Lake Development Authority or LLDA, shall coordinate and enter into agreement with other government agencies, industrial sector, and other concerned sectors in the further of the objectives of this Act. The following agencies shall consider tile functions specified hereunder. The Philippine Coast Guard shall be the one to enforce the water quality standards in marine waters, especially from offshore source. The Department of Public Works and Highways will give the provision of sewerage and sanitation facilities and the efficient and safe collection, treatment, and disposal of sewage. The Department of Agriculture will develop guidelines for reuse of wastewater for irrigation purposes or as soil conditioner or fertilizer. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources will be the one with the prevention and control of water pollution for the development, management, and conservation of the fisheries and aquatic resources. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources prepare a program for the evaluation, verification, development, and public dissemination of pollution prevention and cleaner production technologies. The Department of Health is assigned for the promulgation, revision, and enforcement of drinking water quality standards. The Department of Science and Technology shall prepare a program for the evaluation, verification, development, and public dissemination of pollution prevention and cleaner production technologies. The DepEd, SHED, and Philippine Information Agency shall be the one who is responsible for preparation and implementation of a comprehensive program pursuant to the objectives of this Act. Under the Philippine Clean Water Act, Article 5, Section 27, the following acts are hereby prohibited. The discharging, depositing, or causing to be deposited material of any kind, directly or indirectly, into the water bodies or along margins of any surface water, where the same shall be liable to be washed into such surface water, either by tide action or by storm, floods or otherwise which could cause water pollution or impede natural flow in the water body. B. Discharging, injecting, or allowing to seep into the soil or subsoil any substance in any form that would pollute groundwater. C. Operating facilities that discharge regulated water pollutants without the valid required permits or after the permit was revoked for any violation of any condition therein. D. Disposal of potentially infectious medical waste into seawater by vessels unless the health or safety of individuals on board the vessel is threatened by a great and imminent peril. E. Unauthorized transport or dumping into sea waters of sewage, sludge, or solid waste as defined under Republic Act No. 9003. The transport, dumping, or discharge of prohibited chemicals, substances, or pollutants listed under Republic Act No. 6969. G. Operate facilities that discharge or allow to seep, willfully or through gross negligence, prohibited chemicals, substances, or pollutants listed under RA 9 number 6969 into water bodies or wherein the same shall be liable to be washed into such surface, ground, coastal, marine waters. H. Undertaking activities or development and expansion of projects or operating wastewater sewerage facilities in violation of Presidential Decree No. 8/1586 and its implementing rules and regulations. I. Discharging regulated water pollutants without the valid required discharge permit pursuant to this Act or after the permit was revoked for any violation of condition therein. J. Non-compliance of the LGU with the Water Quality Framework and Management Area Action Plan. In such a case, sanctions shall be imposed on the local government officials concerned. K. Refusal to allow entry, inspection, and monitoring by the department in accordance with this Act. L. Refusal to allow access by the department to relevant reports and records in accordance with this Act. M. Refusal or failure to submit reports whenever required by the department in accordance with this Act. And refusal or failure to designate pollution control officers whenever required by the department in accordance with this Act. And O. Directly using booster pumps in the distribution system or tampering with the water supply in such a way as to alter or impair the water quality. As you can see in the picture, Manager Neric Acosta conducts a surprise inspection of the McDonald's outlet in Fronta Verde, Barangay Ugong, Pasig City. Under Philippine Clean Water Act, Article 5, Section 28, fines, damages, and penalties to be filed by the DNR Secretary upon the recommendation of the Pollution Education Board include the following: for any person committing any of the prohibited acts or violation. Failure to undertake clean-up operations willfully or through gross negligence. Failure or refusal to undertake clean-up operations which results in serious injury or loss of life and or irreversible water contamination of surface, ground, coastal, and marine water.